In an electrifying turn of events on the Eastern European battlefield, dozens of powerful U.S.-manufactured Bradley fighting vehicles are now roaring toward the front lines in Ukraine, sending a thunderous message to both allies and enemies alike. Their deployment, part of a growing effort to reinforce Ukraine's counteroffensive against Russian forces, marks a pivotal escalation in the conflict. This move isn't just symbolic, it's a deliberate and aggressive push to tilt the strategic balance in Ukraine's favor. With their heavy armor, advanced targeting systems, and powerful weaponry, the Bradleys are poised to become the spearhead of a new, more mobile and lethal phase of ground combat. During a major engagement near Bakhmut, Ukrainian forces mounted a lightning assault on a heavily fortified Russian position. Spearheaded by Bradleys, they advanced under a curtain of smoke and suppressive fire. The vehicle's thermal optics allowed them to identify and eliminate targets hidden behind foliage and rubble. The operation, which lasted less than 20 minutes, resulted in the destruction of multiple Russian artillery nests and the capture of an ammunition depot. Russian radio chatter revealed panic and confusion as units were overwhelmed by the speed and precision of the assault. Russian command centers reacted with urgency and anxiety. Surveillance drones buzzed into the sky. Orders to reposition heavy artillery came in rapid bursts over encrypted radios. Kremlin-aligned media struggled to explain the arrival of such a sophisticated Western weapon system, downplaying it as obsolete, but behind closed doors, generals feared they were now facing a force far more advanced and lethal than anything they had prepared for. The Kremlin's confidence in maintaining static defense lines is now under severe pressure. As these steel beasts crush their way through muddy, war-torn terrain, kicking up a trail of dust and shattered earth, their very presence caused a visceral reaction among Ukrainian and Russian troops alike. Ukrainian fighters, many of whom have spent months in dugouts and trenches under relentless enemy artillery, were awestruck to witness these legendary American vehicles arriving to support them. The sound of their engines echoed through battered villages and across open fields, a mechanical thunder that signaled hope to some and terror to others. It was not just the hardware that arrived, it was a message of resilience, unity, and unmatched firepower. The Bradley fighting vehicle is not merely an armored personnel carrier, it's a technological beast built for modern warfare. Designed to carry infantry into the heat of battle while engaging enemy positions, the Bradley boasts a deadly 25mm M242 Bushmaster chain gun capable of ripping through bunkers, light armor, and enemy personnel with ease. Coupled with Tau anti-tank missiles and cutting-edge thermal imaging, this vehicle allows Ukrainian forces to identify and neutralize Russian threats long before they come into visual range. In urban ruins, dense forests, and wide-open plains, the Bradley is proving to be the ultimate hunter. Reports from the Donetsk and Zaporizhia fronts paint a chilling picture. At dawn, under low-hanging fog, Russian scouts reportedly spotted unfamiliar silhouettes moving through contested territory. It was soon confirmed these were Bradleys, moving in coordinated formations, flanked by infantry, and supported by UAV reconnaissance. Panic set in among Russian units, some of whom had only heard rumors about the Bradleys. In real time, they watched a mechanized storm advance toward their trench networks, seemingly unstoppable, their armor shrugging off shrapnel and small arms fire like rain on steel. For battle-hardened Ukrainian soldiers who had endured months with outdated Soviet vehicles or on foot, riding in a Bradley was like stepping into a new dimension of combat. One Ukrainian gunner, nicknamed Orel, described the sensation as overwhelming. When I fired the 25mm gun and watched enemy bunkers explode on thermal vision, I felt like we finally had what we needed to win, he said. Others praised the vehicle's ability to maneuver quickly under fire while protecting troops from artillery blasts and anti-personnel mines. Morale among frontline units surged as the Bradleys began to roll out in greater numbers. Unlike slower, heavier tanks, the Bradleys bring agility to the battlefield. They move as part of highly coordinated mechanized strike teams that include artillery, infantry, drones, and electronic warfare units. This fusion of speed, information, and firepower enables Ukrainian commanders to execute deep penetration raids, seize critical roadways, flank enemy strongholds, and rapidly withdraw before facing a counterattack. Each maneuver is calculated, fast, and devastating, transforming once static combat zones into dynamic, fast-moving war theaters. Military analysts around the world are now closely watching how the Bradley's battlefield performance is reshaping the war. Its blend of mobility, armor, and advanced weapons makes it ideal for the high-tempo, multi-domain warfare Ukraine is now embracing. Experts warn that Russian forces, many reliant on outdated Soviet-era armor with limited sensors and weak maneuverability, will struggle to adapt unless they receive immediate reinforcements or advanced countermeasures which are in short supply. New satellite imagery from NATO intelligence confirms the buildup of Bradley formations behind Ukrainian lines, often accompanied by German-made mortars, French AMX-10 second, and domestic Ukrainian armor. This growing armored force appears to be preparing for a decisive push aimed at retaking key logistical hubs along Russian supply corridors. With NATO-grade coordination and satellite-guided precision strikes supporting them, these armored columns are forming the backbone of Ukraine's most ambitious ground offensive yet. Russian soldiers facing the Bradleys are showing signs of crumbling morale. Captured communications indicate units are requesting urgent reinforcements, while others attempt to retreat without orders. Russian conscripts, often poorly trained and under-equipped, now face a weapon they neither understand nor know how to counter. Fear of thermal detection keeps many troops underground for hours, unable to move, afraid that a single movement might draw a burst of armor-piercing rounds from a Bradley gunner kilometers away. The implications for Russian leadership are dire. Every kilometer the Bradleys advance erodes the myth of invincibility that Moscow has tried to maintain. With Western armor on the offensive, the Kremlin must choose between escalating the war dramatically, which risks broader NATO involvement, or continuing to lose ground inch by inch. Both options carry enormous political and military risks that Putin's regime is increasingly unable to manage. American military advisors working alongside Ukrainian crews have reported that the vehicles are not only surviving under harsh conditions, but thriving. Maintenance teams have adapted quickly, ensuring high operational readiness. Ukrainian soldiers are mastering the technology, learning how to exploit every advantage the vehicle offers. From urban combat to open field warfare, the Bradley is proving itself to be a versatile and unstoppable force multiplier.